Welcome to In the Know. The next video we have in this installment will be recapping Jordan Hawkins Summer League experience, his debut, and the ups and downs and everything in between. So tune in. All right, Mason, we're here to talk about Jordan Hawkins, who had an interesting summer league for the Pelicans. He averaged, let me pull up the stats real quick. He averaged 12.8 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, which I thought was interesting, 2.2 assists, 1.8 steals a game, and 3.4 turnovers. The shooting was not there. He shot 31.9% from the field, 25% from three, 55% from the free throw line. Any takeaways from that, Mason?
I like how you used interesting in a couple different ways when you were describing his his summer league. But look, we got to be fair to everyone. The same way as we talk about 3-point shooting. I mean, it's a small sample size, and so I feel like we can't read too much into that one way or another, and just rely on what we've seen in his college career to date to say he's going to figure out the shooting. That said, a lot of concerning signs. And anytime you have fewer points than shots is not great. And he just didn't take care of the ball. I mean, lots of turnovers. I don't know. I'm concerned about his play. But that said, you and I talked about this when he was drafted, and that we didn't really expect him to have a rotation spot unless there was an injury or something, which I guess it's not if but when with this team. But yeah, I mean, there is a lot to be desired. He's probably the biggest disappointment for the Pelicans in summer league. I don't think that's that questionable, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think relative to expectations, probably, I would say the biggest disappointment was Carlo.
Okay.
Don't think he looked like any. We'll save that for the Carlo video. But regarding Hawkins, look, one, summer league is not predictive again in any sense. There's been plenty of players you can go down through the list of successful players in the NBA who've had terrible summer leagues. Trae Young had a terrible summer league. Jalen Brunson had a terrible summer league. You look at any of the shooters, quote unquote, who were drafted in this draft. You look at Grady Dick. You look at Brandon Pajemski. You look at Ben Shepherd. None of those guys shot well. So,
NBA 3 is a transition, right? I mean, it is.
Right. And then you go back to Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who shot lights out for the Pelicans. And so, look, summer league is what it is. I don't think the percentage is concerning to me. I think Hawkins will figure it out. I think part of it is it's like you said, a longer line. He needs to get stronger. I think the physicality of playing against stronger players, the tax it takes on your body, just the speed at which you're playing at, all of those things are an unfamiliar environment for a player like Hawkins. And I expect him to look completely different come training camp even, right? But the fact remains, I do think that, and I think a lot of smart people have correctly noted this, and it's something I've said repeatedly, like, in order for him to get minutes, in order for him to get on the court, his shooting is going to need to be near outlier level. Not just simply good, it's going to have to be near outlier level. I think he's a significant ways away from contributing meaningfully in any other area. I don't think he's projected to be a good rebounder. I think he'll try defensively, and it just, again, realistically takes 2 to 3 years for rookies to turn a page defensively and figure out the NBA schemes. I said NBA screams because I heard the stuff in the background. Anyways, look, he's gonna have to shoot well, and he's gonna have to bulk up, and I think those are things we knew about him coming into this. So I don't think we learned anything new.
Can you hear my kid in the background? Yeah. I didn't realize that. It's so funny that this mic picks up, is very good about not picking up other stuff, but that's probably such a high pitched thing. That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, do you buy that? So, I mean, he did have basically 2 steals a game. And so, like you said, I think he will try, and I think the activity is there and probably enough to disrupt in summer league. But you're not buying the translating to the NBA game in that regard quite yet.
No, I mean it's summer league. Nobody knows how to dribble in that environment. Nobody knows how to pass in that environment. Like it's just there's going to be turnovers, or people are going to get luck into steals. So like I take very little away from that. I do think he projects out to be a better defender at some point in his career than a guy like CJ McCollum currently is, and we've seen the Pelicans put out an absolutely elite defense with CJ on the court. So like. Look, I don't think he's going to be a guy that sinks your defense in the long term. I just question the return of positive value that he's going to provide, especially because I think the pick was made very much with the mindset of like, we need shooting, we need it now. And I'm like, he's just not going to play now. So like, why are you drafting for a current need? And that's just like, I've always been against the idea of drafting for need. And I think that's exactly what the Pelicans did. David Griffin has mentioned several times in his interview. They needed shooting and rim protection, and they've addressed one of those things. And so they're counting Hawkins as addressing one of those things. And I think that is, that's excellent salesmanship from the Pelicans, because I'd be shocked if Hawkins plays any meaningful minutes if the team is healthy.
Yeah. I'm pretty much with you. We've gone on. I think you and I have said our piece before on drafting first for talent, or for talent versus fit, especially in the first round of the draft. And so I'll just leave that conversation as is.
Yeah. I mean, Cam Whitmore, Summer League MVP again. Nothing is predictive about Summer League. Nickeil Alexander was a Summer League All-Star. Anthony Morrow has lit it up. Chris Dunn, there's a long list of guys who've killed it in summer league, but we will see. I again, guys on the team, I'll root for him. I'll root for his success, and continue to hope the Pelicans develop well.